somewhere in the Hamptons right now, someone is crying into their designer linen. Someone is flirting with the absolute worst possible choice of a human man. And someone is somehow starting a screaming match before the brunt frittata has even arrived. And honestly, that
Yeah.
is the exact energy we are bringing to the table today. Welcome back, babes. We love you. We see you. And babes, we love you.
The Cosmopolitans are officially on deck. And I mean, these drinks are giving delusion, audacity, expensive decisions, an absolute mess.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're here for every single second of it. Pull up a chair, grab a glass, and let's just get straight into it.
I am already so obsessed with this aesthetic because, look, I will go to my grave insisting that a Cosmo instantly makes every single problem feel like 100% glamorous.
Well, sure.
Like, it doesn't matter if you just had a horrific soul-crushing shift at the clinic, or you just survived the most traumatic hinge date of your earthly life. You put a chilled, blushed pink martini glass in your hand, you add a little lemon twist, and suddenly the trauma is chic, you know?
Yeah.
You aren't a tired millennial, you're a tragic heroine in a Nancy Meyers movie. It is a beautiful aesthetic, I'll give you that. But if we look at the underlying sociology of the Cosmo, it actually tells a much darker story.
Oh boy, here we go.
No, really, this isn't just a fun, flirty little happy hour beverage. What's fascinating here is that this drink is basically the official mandated beverage of chaotic, fracturing friendships.
Oh my gosh, wait.
It is the drink of women who are smiling with all of their teeth while actively plotting each other's social downfall. Like, it's the cocktail you order right before you tell your best friend you've been secretly texting her ex-boyfriend for 3 months. It is pure, concentrated danger in a glass.
Wait, that is chillingly accurate. It's the drink of betrayal, but make it fashion.
Exactly.
So what is the exact scientific ratio for a betrayal beverage then? Because I feel like it requires a very delicate balance. It has to be, what, like 30% cranberry, 20% fresh citrus, and 50% catastrophically bad life choices.
Precisely. It needs to be just hard enough to make you purse your lips when someone is lying directly to your face.
I love that so much.
Yeah. But regardless of the exact pour we are deciding right here and right now, that every Wednesday deserves a little bit of main character energy.
Yes, because by the time you're listening to this, you guys, it's Wednesday. So, babes, cheers to making it halfway through the week. Take a sip, take a deep breath, and let's get into the midweek messy horoscopes. We really have to prepare the Snark squad for the chaos the universe has carefully orchestrated for them over the next few days.
Oh, the stars are feeling incredibly petty this week. So let's start with Aries. Aries, you will accidentally start an absolute scorched earth office drama by replying interesting in the group chat to a completely mundane professional update. And you will flat out refuse to elaborate.
Oh my God, the passive aggression, I love it.
Taurus, someone is bringing a box of artisanal donuts to the break room, and you are destined by the cosmos to eat at least 4 of them while loudly complaining to anyone who will listen that you have absolutely no energy today.
Okay, the Taurus call-out is so deeply personal. I literally did that yesterday. Okay, what is the universe doing to Gemini?
Well, Gemini, you will spend 45 minutes pacing your apartment in a silk robe, successfully convincing yourself that texting your toxic ex at 11:30 on a weeknight is simply a healthy exercise in finding closure.
Gemini, I am begging you put the phone down. Do not send the text.
They're going to send it.
They are definitely going to send it. But speaking of scorched earth, office drama, and absolute chaos, we have to talk about the highs and lows of our actual real-life jobs. Because, babes, if you are new to the table, you are sitting with 2 dentists.
Yes, we are in the trenches.
We work at different clinics. And let me tell you, the dental world is an absolute circus right now. I experienced a complete fever dream yesterday.
Oh no, what happened?
So I had a Gen Z patient in the chair, beautiful kid, probably 19 years old. I have the mirror in their mouth, I have the scaler in. Which, for the non-dental besties, is that terrifying sharp metal hook we use to scrape the plaque off your teeth.
Yeah.
So their mouth is propped wide open, and they're actively, aggressively trying to explain TikTok mewing to me.
Please tell me this is a joke, like while you were holding a sharp instrument inside their oral cavity.
Literally, while I'm working. They are making these muffled, guttural, choking sounds, frantically pointing to their jawline, trying to explain how aggressively suctioning their tongue to the roof of their mouth is going to naturally give them a snatched supermodel jaw structure.
I cannot with this generation.
And I'm just standing there frozen thinking, babe, I went to rigorous medical training for 4 years, and you were trying to educate me on structural facial reconstruction via a 15-second TikTok trend. While I'm just trying to make sure you don't permanently lose a bicuspid, my brain was short-circuiting.
The generational delusion is very real. Honestly, that is the exact reason I need this Cosmo.
Right. What happened at your clinic?
Well, my clinic wasn't dealing with TikTok trends, but we had pure, unadulterated, petty coworker drama. Our office manager, who shall remain nameless to protect the guilty, has decided to arbitrarily start rationing the good mint-flavored polish.
No, not the good mint polish. That is the only thing that keeps the adult patients from throwing a literal tantrum.
Exactly. It's the premium stuff, right? It doesn't taste like gritty chalk, so she's hiding it. And I caught her hoarding it near the sterilization room.
What, did you confront her?
Oh, absolutely. We had an incredibly tense, silent Wild West standoff right by the autoclave, which is the giant heated pressure cooker we use to sterilize all our tools.
Oh my gosh, the visual of this is amazing.
Just two grown medical professionals glaring at each other over the steam of a sterilization machine, fighting over a tiny plastic cup of abrasive paste. I looked her dead in the eye, took 2 cups instead of 1, and walked away. The adrenaline rush was unparalleled.
You are an absolute icon for that. Take back the mint. Assert your dominance.
I did what I had to do.
But babes, speaking of asserting dominance and dealing with absolute chaos, we really need to revisit your online dating adventure. Or maybe we should call it a social experiment at this point, because this has become a crisis, and the Snark Squad needs a real-time update.
It has officially bypassed social experiment and entered the territory of a hostage situation, and I am the primary hostage.
It is so bad.
I matched with this guy on Hinge. His profile aggressively screams finance bro CEO. His job title is literally just listed as founder. But every single photo on his profile is a blurry, fluorescent-lit gym selfie. There is zero proof this man actually owns a business, has ever worn a tailored suit, or has even seen natural sunlight in the past 5 years.
The red flags are not just flying, they are literally on fire. Tell them about the messages. Because when you sent the screenshots to our group chat, I physically threw my phone onto the couch.
The communication style is completely unhinged. This so-called CEO has messaged me 3 days in a row at the exact same time every single morning, and the message is simply, "Hey Queen," no punctuation, no capitalization, no follow-up context, just "Hey Queen" on Monday, "Hey Queen" on Tuesday, "Hey Queen" on Wednesday.
It's giving automated mass marketing bot. It really is.
Right.
But the ultimate red flag on his profile, the thing that made me want to scream into a pillow.
Oh, he listed communication as a hobby.
Listing communication as a hobby is a federal offense. It's not a personality trait, it's a threat. Knitting is a hobby. Tennis is a hobby. If you have to list the basic human function of communication as a hobby on a dating app, you're categorically terrible at it.
Exactly.
And babes, I couldn't let it go. I put on my amateur detective hat, I went deep into the digital trenches, I took the one clear half of his face from that grimy gym mirror selfie, cross-referenced his first name and his vague neighborhood location, and I stalked his LinkedIn.
And what did the investigation yield?
My official verdict. This man is either secretly D-list famous in a really niche, bizarre industry, or he has been totally unemployed since 2021. There's no middle ground.
The digital footprint doesn't lie.
Yeah.
I seriously question whether deleting all the apps, selling all my worldly possessions, and moving to a silent convent in the Alps is the healthiest life choice for me right now.
Look, we have been watching way too much Love Island, and it has completely warped our neural pathways. It really has. It has inspired terrible relationship decisions across the board, and the Snark Squad is basically witnessing the consequences play out in real time.
We are a cautionary tale.
We really are. But honestly,
Yeah.
it just goes to show how easy it is for men to weaponize the concept of communication to hide their massive glaring red flags, which is exactly the masterclass in manipulation we just watched unfold on our television screens.
A seamless transition to the actual crime scene? Here is the mission for today's chat. We are breaking down the absolute smoldering wreckage of the Summer House Reunion Part 3 broadcast.
I am so ready.
Our goal today is to figure out this highly contested, fractured timeline. We're going to judge the sartorial choices, psychoanalyze the tears and the deeply disturbing lack thereof, and finally decide if this particular Bravo friend group is permanently, irreparably broken.
Okay, let's unpack this, because my blood pressure has been elevated since the broadcast ended. We have to start by talking about Amanda Batula and Wes Wilson sitting on those reunion couches.
Oh, absolutely.
I was yelling at my screen. They looked completely hollowed out, totally dead inside. Amanda's sitting there in this weird beige Timo version of a Hailey Bieber outfit, just staring blankly at the studio wall while her former best friend is actively sobbing feet away from her.
Right, just totally blank.
And then West casually admits to taking beta blockers to get through the reunion taping. I completely lost my mind.
The reality TV community's fundamental misunderstanding of basic pharmacology never ceases to amaze me. Let's look at this clinically for a second. Wes claimed that a beta blocker was the primary reason he was so emotionally flat and unresponsive to the crying women around him.
Right, which is just such a wild excuse.
A beta blocker is a medication that stops the physiological symptoms of anxiety. It blocks the adrenaline receptors. It stops your heart from racing. It stops your hands from trembling. It keeps your chest from breaking out in hives. Do you know what a beta blocker does not do?
Yeah.
It doesn't turn off your empathy. It doesn't surgically remove your conscience. It doesn't make you incapable of feeling remorse for devastating someone you claim to care about.
Thank you. It is a heart medication, not a sociopathy pill. I mean, the audacity to even say that.
The real tell here isn't what they took, it's how they prepared. What's fascinating here is my theory, and it's a shady one, but the behavioral patterns support it. They didn't lack emotion because of a pharmaceutical intervention. They lacked emotion because they premeditated checking out.
Oh, wow. So you think they plan to act like statues?
Absolutely. They knew they were walking into a firing squad. They knew the entire cast had their number. So they made an intentional, calculated decision to emotionally disassociate before they even stepped onto the soundstage. They built an impenetrable psychological wall, and they stubbornly refused to engage with the pain they caused.
That makes perfect sense. It was a defensive strategy. But we have to untangle this timeline because the facts are glaring, and the math they are trying to sell us is absolutely not mathing.
The math is broken.
So let's lay out the established timeline. Amanda and Kyle publicly announced their separation to the press on January 19th. Okay. But 2 days prior to that, on January 17th, Ciara catches Amanda and West hanging out together, completely alone.
Right, the January 17th incident.
Yes. Then sitting on the couches, Kyle explicitly claims that Amanda aggressively pushed him to release that separation statement before he was emotionally ready, before he'd even told his own family. He essentially accused her of rushing the PR rollout specifically to secure her new relationship with West.
And then you have Wes sitting there confidently claiming that he and Amanda were strictly just friends until late February or maybe March. But the timeline immediately collapses on itself because Dave Portnoy leaks that West and Amanda were already acting like a full-blown thing at the Super Bowl on February 8th.
February 8th.
The narrative they rehearsed completely fell apart under basic cross-examination.
It's insane. But I have to push back on one thing here. I see your point about the calculated PR rollout, but I refuse to give Amanda that much credit, some sort of evil mastermind.
You don't think she calculated it?
No. Is it possible that she was just so desperate, so suffocated by the misery of her marriage to Kyle, that she clung to the very first guy who paid her positive attention? I think she's deeply codependent and panicked. The cruelty toward Ciara wasn't this premeditated chess move. It was just the messy collateral damage of her own panic to escape her marriage.
I hear that perspective, and panic certainly plays a role, but we cannot ignore the mechanics of reality TV public relations. Amanda is not a novice. She has been on this network for years. She understands how a narrative is built and destroyed.
Oh, that's true.
When you rush a joint separation statement to the press, you are intentionally getting ahead of the narrative. She knew that if she was seen at the Super Bowl with Wes, while still legally and publicly tied to Kyle, the backlash would be insurmountable. She weaponized that PR statement to clean the slate so she could lock down West.
Ugh, when you put it like that.
And in the process, she looked at Ciara, the woman who spent the entire summer defending her, building her up, and wiping her tears, and threw her directly under the bus. She wanted the shiny new relationship, and she simply compartmentalized the collateral damage.
Oh, okay. When you lay out the mechanics of it like that, it is so much darker.
Yeah.
And that collateral damage doesn't stop with the PR statement, which leads us to the absolute wreckage West left in his wake. We really need to talk about justice for Ciara Meja and the jillion other women West was stringing along.
The jillion women.
Babes, I got so incredibly fired up for Ciara during this broadcast. Her rejection of Amanda's apology on that couch, hanging in the Louvre, it was a masterclass in boundaries.
It really was.
Amanda gives this pathetic, half-baked word salad apology like, I'm sorry your feelings were hurt. And Ciara doesn't scream. She doesn't cry. She just looks at her with ice in her veins and says, you're with him to spite me, so have fun.
If you look at the underlying psychology of that moment, Ciara didn't just reject an empty apology. She completely deconstructed West's entire relationship dynamic in one sentence.
Yes, she did.
Ciara correctly clocked that West requires a weak mute partner so that he can remain the undisputed star of his own life. And if we connect this to the broader pattern of his behavior, it perfectly mirrors what Dara Levitin, West's ex, said when she joined the Couches. Dara called him out for living in the West show.
The West Show, yes. That was such a chillingly accurate description. Dara basically said his only true priority in life is being well-liked by the viewing public. He desperately needs to be perceived as the goofy, lovable golden retriever guy, and he will sacrifice the emotional well-being of any woman in his life to maintain that specific edit.
Exactly. He is operating from a place of deep narcissistic supply. He needs a woman who will mold herself and shrink herself around his massive ego without ever complaining or demanding accountability. And let's look at the actual receipts, because they are damning.
Oh, the receipts are so bad.
West was actively leading on his ex Maja, making her believe they were building toward an exclusive future. We literally have the physical receipt that he sent her a bouquet of flowers on Valentine's Day, February 14th.
Wait, let's pause and emphasize this for the Snark Squad. He sent Maja Valentine's Day flowers a full week after he was supposedly parading around as an exclusive thing with Amanda at the Super Bowl.
The triangulation is staggering. And let's not forget the geographic manipulation. He flew Maja out to Montana to meet his own father for a football game.
I forgot about the Montana trip.
Right. He is introducing this woman to his family, integrating her into his real life while simultaneously doing ear stuff with Ciara in the Hamptons summer house, while secretly texting another girl named Moreno, while laying the precise groundwork to steal his friend's wife.
I feel like I need a massive corkboard and red yarn just to track this man's dating life. It is exhausting. But again, I have to play devil's advocate for a second.
Go for it.
Is it entirely possible that West isn't some calculating Machiavellian F-boy? What if he really is just a stupid, emotionally stunted guy who got way in over his head, panicked when all these women wanted commitment, and just made a massive, clumsy mess?
A clueless guy who is just in over his head doesn't successfully coordinate flights to Montana while managing 3 separate text threads with 3 different women and simultaneously orchestrating a high-stakes PR rollout with a married co-star. That level of deceit requires intense executive function.
Okay, you're so right.
No, West is a highly calculated operator. Think about his trajectory in season 1. He targeted Ciara to gain the fan favorite status. He knew the audience loved Ciara, and by proxy, they would love the guy who treated her well. He farmed her for goodwill.
Wow, he totally did.
And the absolute second that edit stopped serving his long-term goals, he discarded her. He is intentional, he is deceptive, and he is completely driven by his own self-image.
You are so right. He used Ciara as a human shield for a good edit. It makes my skin crawl. But the collateral damage doesn't stop with Ciara or the Jillian women. What truly broke my brain was watching how this betrayal rippled out to the men in the house.
Oh, the men.
What alternate universe have we stepped into where the men are weeping uncontrollably on the reunion couches and the betrayers are sitting there like statues? Watching Kyle Cooke, the man who has terrorized our screens for years, become the voice of moral reason was an absolute out-of-body experience.
It was a glitch in the Bravo Matrix.
It really was. I was genuinely shocked that Kyle, of all people, was able to correctly and eloquently diagnose the entire dynamic. He looked right at West's tears in his eyes and said that West intentionally manipulated Amanda when she was at her most vulnerable and essentially isolated her alone on an island.
That was surprisingly articulate for Kyle.
Right. He broke it down perfectly. West took her away from her husband, severed her deep ties with her best friend Ciara, and now Amanda is totally reliant on a man who casually admits to lying to a jillion women on national television.
It's a profound, surprisingly astute observation from Kyle. But this raises a glaring issue. We cannot simply gloss over the sick, twisted irony of Kyle's involvement in this entire mess.
Oh, absolutely not.
We found out during this broadcast that Kyle was actively texting West for intimacy advice regarding his failing marriage to Amanda during the exact same time frame that West was secretly hooking up with Amanda in Miami.
Throw the entire phone into the ocean.
Oh.
That makes my stomach turn. Kyle is pouring his heart out, showing deep vulnerability about his marriage to the very guy who is actively sleeping with his wife behind his back. The betrayal is Shakespearean.
It is incredibly dark. But I want to draw your attention to the power shift that happened on that couch. Kyle went from being the scorned, screaming, betrayed husband to adopting this bizarrely protective paternal role over his ex. He hugged her. He was crying for her, not just for his own bruised ego.
And then we have Jesse Solomon. Jesse is literally crying real actual tears, saying that West's pathological lies made him feel like he lost a brother. He even brought a written timeline on a yellow legal pad to cross-examine West.
The legal pad was an amazing prop.
It was giving full Law and Order SVU energy. I genuinely felt pity for Kyle and Jesse in that moment. It felt like real visceral heartbreak over the death of a friendship.
See, this is where my cynicism kicks in.
Naturally.
I will grant you that Jesse's tears seem surprisingly genuine for the Bravo universe. He genuinely looked like a man mourning a brotherhood. But Kyle, I think a massive percentage of Kyle's tears are born out of pure relief.
Wait, relief.
Yes, he is so incredibly glad that for the first time in a decade of television, someone else is finally the primary villain of the season. He gets to walk away from a failed marriage looking like the sympathetic victim instead of the cheating, yelling husband. He is weaponizing West's terrible behavior to launder his own reputation.
Oh, that is so shady, but it is brilliant. You are so right. He is absolutely coasting on West's villain era. He found a bigger monster to hide behind.
Precisely.
Speaking of manipulating the narrative, we have to talk about the MVP of the broadcast. Let's give a massive round of applause for Miss Lindsay Hubbard clocking in for her shift, understanding the assignment, and earning every single penny of her Bravo paycheck.
Lindsay essentially staged a coup and hosted the reunion herself. Andy Cohen looked completely exhausted, like he wanted to go home and sleep, and Lindsay just sensed the power vacuum and took the reins.
It was mesmerizing to watch. She is sitting there sipping water out of a massive, oversized wine glass. Why? Because she knows a giant prop looks great on camera and establishes dominance.
Yeah, such a power move.
She is pointing across the room, calling West a pathological liar. And she completely eviscerates both of them for ruining the business dynamic and the core friend group for a effing hookup. She was the only one zooming out and looking at the bigger picture. She knew this messy situationship was jeopardizing their actual jobs.
The mechanism of Lindsay taking over is fascinating. She knows that reality TV abhors a vacuum. With the upcoming spinoff in the city looming, she needed to establish herself as the undeniable alpha of the cast. And she brilliantly rallied the rest of the group to her side. Even Carl Radke contributed something useful.
I know. Miracles do happen.
His happy birthday metaphor was genuinely brilliant. He compared Amanda and West's carefully worded situationship statement, where they completely omitted Kyle or Ciara's names, to singing Happy Birthday without actually saying the person's name. It's completely empty. It's purely performative.
It was such an accurate breakdown of PR speak. And then we had Bailey Taylor, who was a total mixed bag for me.
Bailey was fascinating because she demonstrated two completely conflicting ideologies within the span of an hour. On one hand, she dragged Benoit Dell to hell and back for constantly reprimanding the women in the house, which was a fantastic, necessary call-out of his underlying misogyny.
Yes, we loved that part.
But then 20 minutes later, she turns around and demonstrates pure, unadulterated white girl solidarity for Amanda. She is coddling Amanda, petting her, asking if she's emotionally okay, while Amanda is actively showing zero remorse for destroying Ciara. It was a glaring, hypocritical double standard.
Totally. And babes, what makes us all so incredibly unhinged is what is happening right now in real time off camera. West and Amanda are currently, as we speak, on a romantic vacation in Italy.
Oh, the Italy trip.
The fans have been spotting them, and the reports say they are practically spitting in each other's mouths at cafes in Rome. The network is capitalizing on this so hard that they are dropping a surprise post-reunion special broadcast next week called The Aftermath. And then we are transitioning straight into the news spinoff in the city.
The reality TV industrial complex never sleeps. They know how to monetize a mess.
But I have to ask you, do you think West and Amanda will actually last? Like, is this genuine against all odds love? They point blank refused to use the word love on the reunion couch, but now they are gallivanting around Italy.
If we look at the historical data of reality TV relationships born out of scandal, absolutely not. The structural foundation of their relationship is fundamentally rotten. Wes will dump her the exact second the public backlash dies down.
You really think so?
Oh, 100%. Right now, their mutual hatred of the rest of the cast and their toxic us-against-the-world mentality is the only glue holding them together. It's trauma bonding mixed with PR defiance. But once the cameras go away and the audience stops caring, she is nothing more than a sad souvenir from reality TV for him. He doesn't want a long-term girlfriend. He wants a captive audience.
A sad souvenir. Ouch. The accuracy is painful. Okay, babes, we need to cleanse our palates and lower our heart rates because it's time for the segments. Let's kick things off with our first game, the Hamptons Happy Hour Awards. Our first category is Biggest Main Character. Who gets your vote for dominating the broadcast?
I have to give it to Lindsay. As we discussed, she played producer, director, and host on that couch. She asked the aggressive follow-up questions that Andy Cohen either forgot or was too tired to ask. She held people's feet to the fire, and she did it all while clutching a giant empty wine glass like a scepter. That is undeniable main character energy.
Okay, I respect the producer hustle, but my vote absolutely goes to Ciara. Her icy, unbothered poise, the way she didn't raise her voice, didn't shed a tear, didn't throw a prop, but completely decimated Amanda and West's entire character with just a few razor-sharp sentences. That is effortless star power.
She was incredible.
Okay, next category. Most delusional.
Unanimously awarded to Amanda. To sit on that stage after cheating emotionally and practically lying to everyone's face for months, intentionally isolating yourself from your support system, and then genuinely believing the viewing audience would feel sorry for you, the delusion is terminal. There is no cure.
I completely agree. The award goes to Amanda hands down. Next up, best one-liner. We mentioned both of these earlier, but is it Carl's happy birthday analogy or Ciara calling Amanda a weak mute figure?
It has to be Ciara. Calling your former best friend a weak mute figure directly to her face on national television is Shakespearean in its cruelty, but devastatingly accurate in its assessment.
It was a lethal read. No notes. Okay, Chaos Creator is obviously West Wilson for lying to a literal jillion women simultaneously and maintaining a separate fictional timeline for every single one of them. But our final award. Most likely to text their ex after 2 cosmopolitans.
Oh, I am throwing you directly under the bus for this one.
Wait, what?
You would absolutely do this. You'd finish your second Cosmo, decide you need emotional closure, and send a you-up text to a man who belongs in federal prison.
Okay, first of all, the shade is unwarranted. Second of all, the real winner of this award is Kyle Cooke. He was practically weeping over Amanda while hugging her on the couch. Give that man 2 cosmos and he is texting her, begging for her back completely, regardless of West's existence.
That is a very fair point. His boundaries are non-existent. I concede the award to Kyle.
Thank you. Validation feels great. Okay, next game. Weekend house draft. We are drafting our absolute dream summer house weekend. The rule is simple. You get 3 Bravo guests, 1 signature cocktail, 1 specific playlist, 1 luxury late-night snack, and 1 person you are absolutely banning from the property limits. I'll go first to set the standard.
Yeah, let's hear it.
For my guests, I am bringing Ciara because she is drop-dead, gorgeous, fiercely loyal, and will defend me. Lindsay to keep the party unhinged and ensure we never have a boring dinner. And Jesse, because I feel like he needs a giant hug, and he's great for overall house morale.
Not bad. What else?
My signature cocktail is a spicy margarita with a Tajin rim. My playlist is strictly Chapel Roan on an endless loop. My luxury snack is an absurd amount of truffle fries delivered at 2 a.m. And the person I am banning, Wes Wilson. He's not allowed within a 50-mile radius of the zip code.
That is a very solid, cohesive weekend, but mine is objectively superior. For my guests, I'm bringing Mia because she had the most incredibly astute reads on the couch and seems like a genuinely great, grounded friend. Bailey, purely for the chaotic, hypocritical drama she brings to any room. And Carl, but strictly for the anthropological entertainment value of watching him clumsily navigate basic human conversations.
That's hilarious.
My cocktail is an espresso martini because with this group, we need to stay artificially awake for the late-night drama. My playlist is strictly 90s R&B to set a specific vibe. My luxury snack is caviar bumps in the kitchen at midnight. And my band person, Ben Waddell. I absolutely do not need a man reprimanding my tone in my own dream house.
Okay, caviar bumps while listening to 90s R&B sounds incredibly chic. I've had to abandon my own house and crash your weekend. Moving on to our next game, Text Receipt Tribunal. We're reviewing the 3 biggest text message evidence receipts leaked from the broadcast and handing down our official verdicts. Send another text, leave them on, read unsend everything, or throw the entire phone into the ocean. Receipt number 1. Kyle texting Wes for intimate marriage advice.
Throw the entire phone into the Atlantic Ocean, sink it directly to the Marianas Trench. There is absolutely no recovering your dignity after texting the man who is systematically dismantling your marriage for tips on how to save it. The embarrassment is permanent.
Glug, glug, the phone is gone.
Yeah.
Completely agree. Receipt number 2. Amanda's hot mic off-camera comment to Wes, telling him to watch my ass as I walk away.
Unsend everything. Cringe. It is physically painful to even hear about. It's not cute. It's not a confident flex. It's just deeply humiliating given the context of the timeline and the fact that she was still married. It screams desperation.
It gave me full-body hives. Unsend, delete, erase from the hard drive. Receipt number 3. Wes texting Hey Queen to Meja on Valentine's Day.
Leave on read forever. Let him sit in the agonizing deafening silence of his own audacity, never reply. Let that automated "Hey Queen" haunt his digital footprint until the end of time.
Let it haunt him. Okay, our final game. Soft Girl Summer Survival Kit. We are building the ultimate kit for surviving a messy, emotionally exhausting Hamptons weekend. You need a drink, a snack, a beauty product, a fashion item, and one completely unnecessary luxury that somehow becomes an absolute essential. Here's my kit.
Okay, lay it on me.
My drink is an Aperol Spritz because it looks phenomenal in flash photography. My snack is a massive, over-the-top, overflowing charcuterie board. My beauty product is a really high-end, glowy SPF because we absolutely must protect our skin barrier while we spill the tea on the patio.
Very practical.
My fashion item is an oversized, breathable linen button-down. And my unnecessary luxury is a matching expensive silk pajama set just to sleep in so I look rich and unbothered even while I'm unconscious.
See, your kit is cute for a relaxing vacation, but my kit is designed for surviving actual psychological warfare in the Hamptons.
Oh boy.
My drink is a Cosmo, obviously, to match the chaotic betrayal energy of the house. My snack is extremely expensive Marcona almonds. My beauty product is a set of under-eye ice rollers because you will be hungover and you will be crying over a man who doesn't deserve it. And we need to rapidly reduce the facial puffiness before the brunch cameras go up.
Ice rollers are so real.
My fashion item is a giant, obscenely large pair of black sunglasses to hide from the consequences of my own actions and my unnecessary luxury. A personal, portable ring light. Because if I'm going to have a screaming match about a text message on the patio at 1 a.m., I am going to be impeccably lit.
Okay, the ice rollers for the crying and the ring light for the screaming match. You win. Your survival kit is objectively superior and far more practical for this specific friend group. I bow down. Bays, this has been an absolutely wild ride. We have successfully unpacked the fractured timelines, we have judged the terrible outfits, and we have psychoanalyzed the absolute mess out of these people's behavioral patterns.
It was exhausting but necessary work. I think we've reached the absolute end of our diagnostic limits for today's chat.
I think so too. But before we go, it makes you wonder, with upcoming spin-offs like In the City, literally rewarding this exact type of toxic, deceptive behavior with bigger paychecks and more screen time, are we the viewers actually the ones funding the destruction of these real-life friendships? Are we the real villains here? Snark Squad, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Oh, and also, we have to ask you, are Cosmopolitans officially the drink of chaotic Wednesdays?
Let us know. Thank you all for pulling up a chair, grabbing a glass, and listening to the mess with us today. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share today's chat with your absolute favorite Bravo bestie. We need the whole squad assembled and ready for the aftermath next week.
Stay messy.
Stay delusional.
And we'll see you on the Snark side.